Good evening. I would like to call this Court of Common Council meeting to order for today, March 27th, 2023. And I'm glad that everyone is here today as we have the Mayor's 8th and final State of the City address. Thank you for joining us tonight. This evening, the Mayor's annual State of the City address, per Chapter 5, Section 2I, the Mayor is to deliver an oral report regarding the state of the city and provide any recommendations as they deem appropriate during our council meeting in March. I am proud to introduce this Mayor for the State of the City address and recognize how he has worked hard and hand in hand with the City Council and members of the public throughout his tenure and through navigating the uncertainties regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. He has been a champion for the City of Hartford. With that, I would like to welcome him, the 67th Mayor of the great City of Hartford, Mayor Luke A. Bronin, to the podium. Mr. Mayor.
Majority Leader Clark, Council President, members of the City Council, Madam Treasurer, members of the General Assembly, colleagues across city government, Sarah and my family, and residents of our great city, good evening. Our City Council President cannot be with us tonight because of a death in her family, and on behalf of the city, I just want to express our deepest condolences and tell her that our whole city's prayers and thoughts are with her and her loved ones. I also want to start by thanking my family. Sarah and my mom are both here. After 8 of these, we can't get the kids to come. And I want to thank our team, so many of whom are here tonight. My right hand for these last 8 years, Thea Montanez, and every single part of our team, every single member who love this city and work for this city day and night. I'm so grateful to every single one of you. Tonight, I want to start where I usually end. The state of our city is strong. Its strength doesn't come from the budget I'm going to talk about or from this building. It doesn't come from me as mayor or from any other elected leaders. Hartford is strong because the people of Hartford are strong. The people of Hartford are courageous, resilient, creative, passionate, compassionate. The people of Hartford get knocked down, get back up, and then reach out to help others do the same. That's true strength. Now, over the past 8 years, it has been a deep honor to wake up every morning with the chance to try and do good for this city. I've had the privilege to work alongside many of you, and together we've tried to do what's right, not what's easy. Our first challenge was a fiscal crisis bigger than any other in our history, in our city's history. We confronted that crisis honestly. We made tough cuts. We asked our unions to partner with us, and they did. We asked our companies to partner with us, and they did. And we asked the state of Connecticut to partner with us. And we built a partnership that helped to put the city of Hartford on a strong and stable foundation. And then we did the work of rebuilding. Since 2016, we have not taken on a single dollar of debt. We've produced surpluses every year, we've built up reserves, we've rebuilt schools, and reinvested in infrastructure. Last year, we cut the property tax for the first time in years and by the largest amount in 3 decades. If you told me 8 years ago that that's where we'd be today, I'm not sure I would have believed you. But it wasn't an accident, and it didn't happen by itself. We did it together. The budget I submitted today builds on that progress. It's balanced and responsible. It protects the ground we've gained, and it makes important new investments in our community. Like all of our recent budgets, this budget does not include any new borrowing or any one-time revenues. It funds the pension contribution. It doesn't delay obligations. It adds new tax relief for seniors by expanding the senior property tax credit. Not long ago, that property tax credit was $500, and under this budget, it will be $1,000. That's real relief for our seniors. This budget builds in the costs of collective bargaining agreements we've reached with our police officers and other unions so we can recruit and retain the teams we need. And when we battled our budget crisis in 2016, we made some deep, painful cuts. And over the past few years, we've been healing those cuts, carefully and thoughtfully. This budget includes new positions in our Department of Public Works so that our team can better care for our facilities, our parks, and our streets. It includes additional positions for our housing inspection team and our fire prevention team. It includes new resources for our 911 dispatch center, our IT team, and cybersecurity, and more. It also includes a significant increase for our recreation department and our libraries. We want to dramatically expand the hours-end programming at our rec centers and our libraries because our kids and our families deserve it. Every budget involves negotiation, but this budget reflects the priorities and aspirations that I've heard both from our community and from the City Council, and I urge the Council to pass it. Beyond our city budget, we've gone after every dollar and every opportunity we could to accelerate our recovery from the profound disruption of the COVID-19 pandemic. We rarely step back and survey the full sweep of the work that our team is doing every day. And I want to take some time to do that tonight because this team is doing a lot. To help our kids recover and reconnect, we've awarded millions of dollars in grants for about 100 organizations serving nearly 20,000 young people. We invested in the citywide Youth Sports Collaborative. We've helped our Boys and Girls Club open a new location in the South End and reopen the club in the Northwest. We've expanded the Hartford Youth Service Corps, which we built and which is now a statewide and national model for youth employment and development. To make our city safer, we've strengthened long-standing community partnerships and built new ones. We've established a citywide hospital-based violence intervention initiative. We're building intensive, individualized intervention programs, both for the young people and the adults who are most involved in violence. And working with our Capital Community College partners, we're going to train members of our community who've been involved in the justice system, who've made a change, so that they can help others make that change too. We've expanded the Reentry Welcome Center. We brought ROCA to Hartford to work with the young women and mothers who are so often affected by violence but so often left out of the work to prevent it. We built the Hartford Emergency Assistance Response Team, the HART team, to respond when people are in crisis stemming from addiction, homelessness, or mental illness, the first civilian response team in the state. And we're advocating for the changes that Connecticut needs to make so that when our police do the difficult and dangerous work of bringing to justice someone who's repeatedly hurt others in our community, that person doesn't come right back and do it again. Because quality, accessible housing is a basic need, we've invested in our housing inspection team. We're implementing our ambitious residential licensing program. We've partnered with Greater Hartford Legal Aid to represent tenants in disputes with landlords. We've put funds aside so the city can step in directly when landlords fall egregiously short. We're supporting Journey Home and the partners in the Coordinated Access Network in their unprecedented efforts to combat homelessness. We're dedicating opioid settlement funds to those struggling with both addiction and homelessness, and we're helping our shelters like McKinney reinvent the way that shelters work. Because home ownership makes for stable, healthier neighborhoods, we launched a new program to help seniors fix up the homes they own, and another one to support city employees buy a home in Hartford. We've partnered with Sina, Nina, and Habitat to rebuild vacant lots and historic homes, and with the Hartford Land Bank, we created a whole new model for moving blighted properties from neglect to renewal. We worked with the Housing Authority to secure Community Investment Fund dollars to help transform Mary Shepherd Place into a new community with home ownership at its heart. With our Love Hartford and Love Your Block campaigns, we're working for a greener, cleaner Hartford with residents in the lead. We created the Neighborhood Ambassador Program, changing lives with a second chance while helping to keep our avenues cleaner. We're building a riverfront trail to connect with the trails in Windsor. We're investing $10 million in our parks from Forster to Pope to Colt to Bushnell and Keeney. We've put art at the heart of our recovery. From new summer festivals to murals to street stages, we're partnering with the Arts Council to support our artists and creators and to celebrate the rich culture of our community. With Domingo Open Street Sundays and Hartford Live, we're bringing people together around new Hartford traditions. With facade grants and our small business incentive grants, we're helping local entrepreneurs invest in their businesses. Because of our Heart Lift program, more than 60 businesses are opening vacant storefronts, and nearly 70% of those businesses are owned by women or entrepreneurs of color. That kind of economic development will grow our grand list and grow jobs. And it complements the huge list of projects we have going across Hartford. I won't be around for most of these ribbon cuttings, but these are the projects that will change the way that Hartford looks and feels in the years ahead. Along the full length of Albany Avenue, we're doubling down. From Westbrook Village to historic Northwest Jones School, to Woodland and Albany, to the old police stub station at Albany and Magnolia, to the renovation of historic buildings at Woodland and Vine, to the redevelopment of the burned-out buildings across from Quirk, down to the historic Arrowhead Cafe. We're working to close the gaps, remove the blight, preserve the history, and build the future of Albany Avenue. On Barber Street, we're committed to building a new library branch where Snyder's Grocery used to be, partnering to build housing on the vacant lots at Barber and Westland, and working with the Barber Street Renaissance team to lay the groundwork for more. On North Main, we're supporting the conversion of the Filler Brush Building, the old welfare building, into housing as well. Fueling the growth in Parkville, we're partnering to build hundreds of new units, redeveloping the historic Whitney Manufacturing Building and building ground up on the surface parking lots down the street on Bartholomew. Key pieces of our broader Parkville plan. On Washington Street, we're converting the historic State Trade School to housing, and we're working with Connecticut Children's on a project that will solidify Hartford's place as the premier center for child health care, while at the same time activating that corridor with retail for the neighborhood. We're partnering with CRDA on the development of Bushnell South, a transformative development that will link Main Street to the Capitol, Park Street down to Bushnell Park, and replace a sea of surface parking. In downtown, we're continuing to bring long vacant buildings back to life, from 525 Main Street to the Pearl Street Firehouse to 200 Constitution Plaza, and on Pratt Street, every single storefront is under construction or under contract. And we're also doing the planning so this kind of work can continue in the years ahead. From the Arrowhead Gateway to the Heartline to Riverlink to the Homestead Avenue corridor to the 33-acre brownfield on Flatbush to the South Meadows to Coventry and Vine, we're laying out a roadmap for the next dozen years to when Hartford has its 400th anniversary. That's not everything we're doing, or even close. But I hope it gives you a sense of how much this team is working on. The nature of our work is that it's never done and it's never enough. And of course, so much of the work that we're doing is possible because of the leadership and the partnership of our federal delegation in Congress, our state legislators who've worked hand in hand with us, our companies who stayed committed to the work, the generous support of foundations and others who see the value and the power of what we do. So we don't do this work alone. But when you step back and take a look at everything we're doing, I challenge you to show me a city in Connecticut or anywhere else that's doing more. The work doesn't stop when we hold a press conference about a new program or partnership. That's when it starts. That's when our team begins the hard work of putting ideas into action and trying to make promises real. And we've got a team that's determined to do it right. In the months ahead, we will push that work forward as fast and as far as we can. But much of that work will fall to the next mayor, the next council, the next team. We're planting the seeds. It'll be up to others to help them grow. But with continued care and cultivation, those seeds will take root and grow and blossom. And it's my deepest hope that someday I'll be able to walk around with my kids' kids throughout Hartford and show them all that grew because of the seeds we planted together. Whoever stands at this podium next year will have lots to do. The progress we've made is real but fragile. And our city faces plenty of challenges, some of them tougher than ever before after the pandemic turned the world upside down. But I've never been more confident about Hartford's future, so long as we stay disciplined, make hard choices, confront threats honestly and transparently and with courage, and are bold enough to stay the course we've set for these last 8 years. And so long as the next mayor has a team who cares as much and gives as much as this team I get to work with every day. People sometimes ask me what they can do for this city. To those outside Hartford, the answer is simple. Think of Hartford as your city too. Come here to live, come to a yard goat game, come for dinner, come for a show, spread the word. Make Hartford yours in whatever way you want. And my answer to the people of Hartford is also simple. First, be part of the work of building our city up in any way you can. As I said in my inaugural address in 2016, whether you put some new paint on your house, plant a garden, mentor a neighbor, form a block watch, join your NRZ, in whatever way feels right to you, join us and put your shoulder to the wheel. This is your city, and your city needs you. Second, as you do that work, also help to build and to be one Hartford. We're one of the most diverse cities in the country. That's a huge part of our strength. We're a city of neighborhoods, each with its own distinct character and culture. That too is a huge part of our strength. But in almost any large American city, all of Hartford would be one single neighborhood. Let's act like that in ways big and small. Vote for leaders who want to move the whole city forward, not just a part. Root for success no matter where it happens. If you live in the Northeast, take a Sunday afternoon and go get some pasteles in Parkville. If you live behind the rocks, come to the finale of Baby Grand Jazz at the Artist Collective. If you live in the West End, go watch a cricket match in Keeney Park. If you live downtown, go check out a Los Amigos game in Colt Park. If you live in Coatesville, head over to Parkville Market. Make this whole city yours because it is yours. Recognize that we can't afford the old division between neighborhoods and downtown, North End and South End, because we're tied together. Every single part of this city is filled with extraordinary people. Kids as talented as kids anywhere. Moms and dads who are as dedicated as parents anywhere. Neighbors as caring to neighbors as any neighbors anywhere. Artists, musicians, dancers, athletes as gifted as any others anywhere. A city where you can do anything you want to do, including to help shape the future of this city if you love it. Hartford became my city because Sarah and I fell in love with it. And it's been the honor of a lifetime to serve all of you as mayor. I will miss this job because I believe so deeply in Hartford's future. And I'll miss the work of building a place of opportunity for everyone who calls our city home. But I've never been more optimistic about our future. And in the meantime, we've still got a lot of work to do. God bless you all, and may God bless the city of Hartford.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Per the changes in our new charter, we will start off with a new process this year. We typically would have one public hearing, but now we're going to have two. So the first public hearing is going to be on April 5th at 6 p.m. at Weaver High School. Then the second public hearing will be Wednesday, April 26th at 6 p.m. at the Dwight Belizzi School. So please mark your calendars for those two public hearings. And since we have no other business to discuss right now, our council meeting is now in recess until 7 p.m.